Let me be brutally honest with you. Motivation is a liar. It shows up all hyped when you start something new, convinces you that this time is different, and then vanishes, gone, usually around day 4. And suddenly you're back on the couch, wondering why you can't just do the thing you said you would do. Sound familiar? Here's what nobody tells you though. The most successful people on the planet don't feel motivated every single day. They just figured out something that most people never do. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what that is. The real problem. So let's talk about what's actually going on when you fall off. You set a goal. Maybe it's waking up at 6 a.m. Maybe it's going to the gym 3 times a week. Maybe it's working on your side hustle for 30 minutes a day. It feels exciting. You tell your friend. You maybe even buy new stuff for it. Show someone buying a fancy new notebook they'll never use. Day 1, amazing. Day 2, still good. Day 3, okay, a little harder. Day 4, life happens. You're tired, work was brutal, the couch is right there. And just like that, streak broken. Here's what most people do next. They wait. They wait until they feel motivated again. They tell themselves, I'll start fresh on Monday. And Monday rolls around, and the same thing happens all over again. The problem isn't your willpower. It's not that you're lazy. The real problem is that you've been treating consistency like a feeling when it's actually a system. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wake up every morning feeling fired up to brush your teeth. You don't have a vision board about dental hygiene. You just do it because it's part of your routine. It's automatic. There's no negotiation. That's the energy we're going for. And here's the thing, you can build that for anything. But before I tell you how, I need to bust the biggest myth that's probably been holding you back this whole time. The motivation myth. We live in a world that is obsessed with motivation. Motivational speakers, hype playlists, Instagram quotes that say things like, suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. And look, that stuff can give you a temporary boost, no hate. But here's the ugly truth. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Let me say that again. Motivation follows action. Most people are sitting around waiting to feel ready before they start. But the feeling of readiness, it almost never comes. The people who are actually crushing their goals, they start before they feel ready. And then, like magic, the motivation shows up after they've already begun. It's like a cold engine. You don't just floor it the second you turn the key. You ease into it. You let it warm up. Your brain works the same way. Once you start doing the thing, even badly, even briefly, the resistance melts away. There's actually a psychological principle behind this. It's called the Zeigarnik effect, the idea that your brain becomes more engaged with tasks once they've been started. That's why writers always say, just write one terrible sentence, because one sentence almost always turns into a paragraph into a page. So the next time you don't feel like it, don't wait to feel like it. Just start. Start small, start badly, start anyway. But okay, starting is one thing. What about staying consistent for weeks, for months? That's where most people still fall apart. And that's where the next piece comes in. And honestly, this one changed everything for me. The system that actually works. All right, here's the practical stuff, the actual system. Step 1, shrink the goal until it's embarrassingly small. I'm not joking. Whatever you think the minimum is, cut it in half. Want to work out? Your only job is to put on your gym shoes. That's it. Want to write? Open the document. Want to meditate? Sit down and close your eyes for 2 minutes. This sounds ridiculous, right? Like it's too easy to matter. But here's what's actually happening. You're removing the psychological barrier to starting. The gym shoes habit almost always leads to a full workout, because once you're there, you're already there. But more importantly, even on the days when you only do the small thing, you still showed up. The streak lives. The identity stays intact. Step 2, attach your habit to something you already do. This is called habit stacking. Instead of trying to carve out brand new time from nowhere, which is hard, you just glue your new habit to an existing one. After I pour my morning coffee, I will write for 10 minutes. After I brush my teeth at night, I will read for 5 pages. After I sit down at my desk, I will work on my goal before I check my email. See how that works? The existing habit is the trigger. Your brain already has a pathway for it.
You're just adding one more thing to the chain. Step 3. Plan for failure, literally. This one sounds weird, but stay with me. Research consistently shows that people who plan for setbacks are way more likely to recover from them. So ask yourself, when, not if, I miss a day, what will I do? Write it down. If I miss a workout, I will go for a 10-minute walk instead. If I skip journaling, I will write 3 sentences the next morning. The worst thing you can do after missing one day is miss 2. One missed day is a blip. 2 missed days is the beginning of a new habit, a bad one. So plan your comeback before you need it. Step 4, and this is the big one. Change your identity, not just your behavior. Most people say, I'm trying to get fit, or I'm trying to be a writer. Successful people say, I'm someone who moves their body every day, or I'm a writer. That might seem like a small word change, but your brain takes it seriously. When your behavior becomes part of who you are, not just what you're trying to do, the whole dynamic shifts. You don't negotiate with your identity. You don't skip your identity. You protect it. Every small action you take is a vote for the person you're becoming. Each rep is a vote, and over time, you can't argue with the scoreboard.
The emotional truth. Here's something I want to say that most productivity videos skip over entirely. Consistency isn't just a strategy, it's a form of self-respect. Every time you follow through on something you said you'd do, even a tiny version of it, you're proving to yourself that you can be trusted, and that matters more than any result you'll ever get from the habit itself. Because here's what happens when you keep breaking promises to yourself. You stop believing in yourself, quietly, slowly. You start saying things like, I'm just not a disciplined person. That's just not who I am. And those stories become self-fulfilling. But the reverse is also true. Every kept promise, no matter how small, rebuilds that trust. And one day, you look back and realize you've become someone you actually respect, someone who does what they say, someone who shows up. That's the real goal, isn't it? Not just the six-pack or the side income or the finished book. It's becoming the version of you that actually follows through. And that person isn't born, they're built. One boring, unmotivated, still did it anyway, day at a time.
So let's recap what we actually covered today. Motivation is unreliable. Stop waiting for it. Start before you're ready, because action creates motivation. Shrink your habits until they're stupidly easy. Stack them onto things you already do. Plan for the days you fail. And most importantly, start seeing consistency not as a chore, but as a vote for who you're becoming. You don't need a perfect streak. You don't need to be firing on all cylinders every single day. You just need to show up more days than you don't. That's literally it. The people you admire most, they're not superhuman. They just refuse to quit on the days that felt pointless. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one habit, just one. Shrink it down until it feels almost embarrassing. And do it tomorrow, not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. If this video gave you even one thing to think about differently, drop a comment below and tell me what habit you're working on. I read everything. And if you want more content about building the life you actually want, not just dreaming about it, make sure you're subscribed, because the next video, it's going to hit even harder. We'll see you there.